How's everybody doing? Stocklef here, and welcome to some NBA 2K13 My Career, featuring the Indiana Pacers and the Chicago Bulls. And by the title of this, you already know what to expect. This is a defensive showdown in Chi-Town, and that was sort of an accidental rhyme, but not really. But you can definitely expect some great defense from both sides in this game. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I want to talk a little bit about the future plans that I have for NBA 2K13 and for 2K14 as well. To finish up 2K13, I believe I'm just going to do the My Career that you see right now, the Milwaukee Bucks Association, and maybe one more series to tie us over until we get into 2K14. Right there I tried to go for the rebound, but they end up getting it, and Derrick Rose is wide open at the basket. Nothing much I can do about that. But basically, I want to have 3 series dedicated to NBA 2K13, and I believe I can go and squeeze my team in there as well. So those are the 3 that I really want to focus on: My Career, Milwaukee Bucks Association, and my team for NBA 2K13. And also, on the side, you know, do a Road to Glory and Ultimate Team for NCAA Football 14. And that's sort of weird to say, mixing together 2K13 and NCAA Football 14 together. So, I don't know, 13 and 14 together just seems weird. But that's what I want to do for that. Now, my plans for 2K14, honestly, is about the same. I would like to say that My Career would be back, no doubt. Some sort of association with some sort of team. I'll probably put that to a vote and actually stick with it. And they'll probably have my team, I'm assuming. But I also have another series idea for 2K13 that I'm going to try out, and I still want it to be sort of a surprise. So I'll try to get around to doing that as soon as I can, and we'll see how that works out. If it's liked by several, then I'll go and continue it, and if people don't find it that enjoyable, I guess I'll just cut it. So there's that. The main focus of this video, though, is defense between these two teams, and I wanted to talk a little bit about defense in the NBA as a whole. You normally don't see very good defense played, to be honest with you, but something I've definitely noticed is the champions over the past, I don't know how many years, like dating back forever. It seems like some of the best defensive teams won an NBA championship. And I think I can say that the Miami Heat this year, you know, were up there with the best defensive teams in the league just because of what they have. And Indiana was definitely up there. There's no question. And it just seems to repeat. I mean, you have to have a good defensive team to win a championship, it seems like. You can't rely on offense. And that sort of goes back to my point with the Golden State Warriors in the 90s. I mean, you had Tim Hardaway, you had Mitch Richmond, and you had Chris Mullin. So the only reason they couldn't get it done is because of defense, and that was definitely one of the most action-packed, high-octane teams to watch, and I think this will hold true. Now, this year you saw Golden State make a run in the playoffs, but they ultimately got cut off because their defense was lacking, and San Antonio was able to put up points against them. That's pretty much how it worked out. Now with the acquisition of Andre Iguodala, I really think that the Warriors are a top 3 team in the Western Conference, right behind OKC and San Antonio, pending. So the West is sort of shaken up. I honestly think the top 5 teams in the East are better than the top 5 teams of the West, but the Western Conference as a whole is stronger than the East, if that makes sense. I don't know, but it's weird. I'll talk about different free agent acquisitions over the next couple videos, but now I want to transition into how I fit in with this team. I mean, it's a perfect fit. I mean, it's a match made for the ages. You have you know, I don't mean to gloat or anything, but the greatest defensive point guard in the league, which is what I want to pride myself on in this game. And you have, I think we have the best defensive team in the league. So I think I fit in perfectly with Indiana and what Frank Vogel's trying to do with offense and defense. I'm assuming he just gave me the keys to the offense to, you know, to run it by myself. So that's how I'm gonna do it. And this is something I've sort of noticed. It seems like perfect teams have a point guard that can just shoot, pass. Shooting guard that can shoot, do a little bit of everything. Small forward that can shoot, do a little bit of everything. Power forward that can rebound the ball and can shoot to spread the floor. And you have a center that's just a gut-wrenching top guy. And I think Indiana definitely has that. David West can shoot the mid-range. Now, when I was in Memphis playing a little bit, it wasn't necessarily the same. Now, Zach Randolph could spread the floor, but it just wasn't enough. It just seemed like everything was cluttered, and honestly, it just wasn't fitting well. I don't know why, but this game is honestly pretty close right now. And one thing that I want to focus on myself is making more videos, because lately, well, I wouldn't say the effort has been there, but I just haven't really had the time. And I know it's probably sort of a weak excuse, but you know, when you have a job, it's kind of hard to get around to it after your hours and stuff like that. It just throws me off balance. And now that I'm not working anymore, I can focus on this more. I'm definitely going to be able to produce more. So definitely be able to expect that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So now that I have pretty much nothing else to talk about, let's go ahead and talk about what's going on inside the game. Basically, up until this point, it's been back and forth. I think we've had the lead for the most part. Not really for the whole game, but that is quite possibly the stupidest shot I've ever seen by Granger. But luckily, I was there for the rebound, and PG-24 is right there for the bucket. I don't think anyone calls him that, though. So I don't know. Just call him Paul George. But that is something confusing. Looking at box scores for Pacers games, George Hill and Paul George, where they both have George in their name, it's sort of confusing. But yeah, you just have to look past that. But something I want to focus on this season is trying to record some triple doubles. There's just a fun factor about it. I don't know why, but there's just something about it. And look at this move on Carlos Boozer. My goodness. I couldn't get by him, so I just stepped back for the three and let it go. And speaking of letting it go from three, hitting yet another one there. And I believe I'm going to try out something different, because I don't know what it is about default sliders. It just doesn't seem... I might try out simulation and see how they work. I know that stamina could be an issue, but to be honest with you, I manage my stamina very, very well. I mean, look at this. This is a fast break. I don't really kick it in at all, and we end up getting 2 points out of it. So I don't really see a problem with it. So I'm gonna try out simulation, see how they work. I know it's kind of late in the game's lifetime to be trying that out, but I'll try it out anyways. And there you see me getting double teamed and just going to the basket. Now, double teams, if you don't abuse them, they will abuse you. That's something I've definitely noticed in this game. So, I mean, if you can abuse it, just go straight to the rim. There's no point in doing anything else. If you want to try to play realistic, then this is not going to happen. You're either going to get trapped, or your pass is going to get deflected, or something. You just got to go by them. That's all you got to do. And that's basically all I've found to be successful for getting out of those double teams, as you see right there, or pass out of it to the obvious guy. in which the receiver is Gerald Green, who is quite possibly the best dunker on this team, along with Paul George. Definitely good to have some athletic swingmen to work with on your team. And look at that pass by George Hill. That was incredible. I don't really mind playing the 2. I think I'm playing the 2 here. But I don't really mind playing the 2 for Indiana because, you know, I'm a shooter and I like to run off screens too. So if they actually run a play for me, I don't mind playing the 2. So, but I definitely have to have the ball in my hands. I can't stand not having it in my hands. Although I will make the exception for Paul George and Danny Granger because they can create shots for themselves, as you can see right here. I'm letting Danny Granger go to work. He goes straight to the rim and scores. Actually, never mind. But normally he scores. He's pretty clutch. But a lot of interior passing by Chicago brings the game to within 2. And there's still 7 minutes left. And the main reason this isn't really as a defensive showdown as I'd like it to be, I mean, I'd like for this to be the final score, but with default sliders, it's just not going to happen. Very dangerous pass by Roy Hibbert there. Paul George in the corner trying to work with something. I set him a screen. I don't know what he's doing. Trying to set him another screen. And eventually it just goes into Granger's hands, and he's going to back it back out and take a ridiculous shot that goes in. So with that, I was like, okay, I'll let Granger operate a little bit more. So, no in the post. I have complete confidence in Roy Hibbert defending that. And I come up with the rebound. 3-point game, and a lot of time has shed off the clock from where it was. And a little spinning left-handed hook there in the lane, possibly got fouled. And I end up getting subbed out of the game, but we end up winning by 2 points. So I don't know how that works out. I'm glad that we won, but if we would have lost, I would have been extremely mad at Frank Vogel. But hope you guys have enjoyed, and definitely more to come in the near future. And as always, have a nice day. Actually, that didn't work out, but have a nice day.
Having just been named the Rookie of the Month, can you tell us how that feels?
It reinforces to me that the hard work I'm putting in every day is beginning to pay off. To get recognized for that level of work is just a reminder of what I'm trying to do in this league. I want rings, not individual awards. But I'll take whatever I can get along the way.